So we've been doing a lot of calling down here at my office. Outreach, sometimes it's a little harder than we want it to be. Sometimes, not so bad. Strangely, the more we do it, the easier it gets, isn't it? And you find yourself having interesting conversations with people. No one has ever told me that they are going to try to ruin my life because I called them up. So I want to start today with the age-old adage. That is picking up our phones and making proactive, outbound phone calls each and every single business day. Time block this thing for an hour. Sucks at first, but it gets easier. It's kind of like exercise.
So for the thousands in attendance,
this is a time to exercise said brain, your patience, and learn to control your call reluctance anxiety. For people who don't call, we all have it, but it does diminish and go away. Think of it like this.
If you call, something good can happen. Really, nothing bad can happen.
True.
If you don't call, nothing will happen.
That's right.
So what's the right path?
Well, it's pretty obvious to me. If you call, they can say no and hang up.
First, take a big step back and literally face!
It's not bad. You want to see somebody strike out, go to a bar with me one evening, all right? But that's really kind of neutral. It's not bad. They can hear your message and say, maybe later. That's better than nothing. Or they can say, yes, that's fantastic. And of course, you being the consummate professional loan officer and real estate agent, you're going to find a way to get said prospect to think about their friends, in which case they can say, it's not for me right now, but Bobby needs your services. So when you call, it can go neutral, or good. There's no bad outcomes on board whatsoever. And by the way, you don't have to pay for it. You just have to do it. It's a cost of your time. It's not a cost of your money. And right now, when things are slim, that ain't so bad.
Further, actually calling gives you far more latitude and opportunities than the alternative.
Right.
Think about it. You can IM, text, email, slide dial. You can run your message through a CRM. And when you do this, you feel accomplished.
All right. And I mean, rightfully so. I get it. We've done it over here. But the truth is, all of those means of communication have an extremely low conversion ratio. It's not me, it's the industry. And is basically just better than doing nothing. Yikes. Why is this? Because it's easy for you to send it out, and because there is no interfacing going on, it's just as easy to ignore. And that is, by and large, what happens. So let's look at calling and why it is so incredibly different.
If you make a call and the person picks up,
Who are you?
at that point, they are now more or less obligated to hear you out.
Who are you?
Before shooting you down. Again, not bad. I mean, no harm, no foul. And now you can take that person off your list and begin distilling your list of past clients, family, and friends down to the most receptive and most likely to send you referrals. Well, it's not bad.
It's not bad at all. Now, listen, I just had a conversation with a lady who was in my database as a VP of a wholesale mortgage company. Now, I called her up. Turns out she moved on and is now dealing with sales at one of the largest AMCs in the country. Further, it turns out that her AMC was purchased by an equity firm, and that equity firm is interested in buying more AMCs. Oh, side note, there's a nug of future forecasting. The AMC that you're using right now is probably going to get bought. It turns out that they're looking at marketing and spreading the word. And that's where we could come in over here at the National Real Estate Post and participate. Not sure if it's going to happen, not sure if we necessarily even want to, but the opportunity only occurs with a call, which allows the conversation to drift in a multitude of different directions that cannot happen with any other means of communication, only with a call.
It really boils down to personal or impersonal. Calling is personal. You might be saying right now that my campaigns perform swimmingly, and I'd say keep doing them.
Right.
This is not an either or. We simply are trying to point out the advantages of calling and actually talking to someone can provide for the overall health of your business. And the last point on this, the more you call, the easier it really does get.
Boy, that is the absolute truth. I find myself having some of the darndest conversations with people, certainly fun ones. And having personally spoken with thousands of realtors from all across the country, I've seen this firsthand. Top producers always integrate actual calls into their marketing regimen. Have you seen that too? I mean, it's always proactive and outbound. Think of it like this. You could either be the target or you could be the arrow. So being proactive is huge. And calling just does give you a unique perspective on this. I remember having a conversation with Frank Gray one time, and we were both loan officers, back in the ice ages. And he called one of his clients up, a good friend of his. He says, hey, listen, rates have come down. And just want to let you know that this would be a good time to refinance your house. And he goes, oh, dude, Frank, oh man, it's good to hear from Yeah, but God, I just closed on my refi yesterday.
That's what always happens.
Always happens.
It always happens.
And you know, somebody told me before, it's like we lie to ourselves. Well, that person doesn't want to hear from me. They would call me if they wanted to get a refinance, but most of our clients, they don't have their head in their mortgage.
Well, not just that, but they're also getting the little coupons at the bottom of their mortgage statement where,
Right.
come to me. I'm at Chase right now. Just refinance. It's that easy. So they're getting reached out to, and they'll just hit that button every now and then.
Yeah, and I've said this a million times, guys. You don't need to call your database. You don't need to do it. But mark my word, your competition is calling your database. It's all public records. Get in front of this thing. You can make 2023 a great year, and it all kind of starts with getting back to the basics. Pick up your phone, man, and have a conversation. Don't even think of necessarily selling. Have a conversation to see what that client actually needs, and let the conversation just flow in its own natural direction. Hey, listen, what we do is we get a client, and then we go try to find a property for said client. What if we were to turn this whole thing around and we get the property, we find out if this investment property pencils and makes money, and then we go find the investor to fill that gap? Would that be easier? It might be more interesting than you think. And we could do this with our DSCR loans that they have over at Oaktree. You find a 2-plex to an 8-plex, and if it pencils, it's pretty much a done deal. All we have to do is find an investor who wants to put 20% down and go ahead and build equity, get a multi-unit complex, and actually have rents that are going to put money in their pocket on a monthly basis. If you want to learn more about this from our good friends over at Oaktree, do it, please. Talk to one of their account reps. They're just waiting for you right now. Click that banner down below. All right, guys, support the show. Share it. Later.